What is the brain? The brain is a complex organ that controls thought, memory, emotion, touch, motor, skills, vision, breathing, temperature, hunger, and every process that regulates our body. Together, the brain and spinal cord that extends from it make up the central nervous system, or CNS. So, what is the brain made of? Weighing about 3 pounds in the average adult, the brain is about 60% fat. The remaining 40% is a combination of water, protein, carbohydrates, and salts. The brain itself is not a muscle. It contains blood vessels and nerves, including neurons and glial cells. What is the gray matter and white matter? Gray and white matter are two different regions of the central nervous system. In the brain, gray matter refers to the darker outer portion, while white matter describes the lighter inner section underneath. In the spinal cord, this order is reserved. The white matter is on the outside, and the gray matter sits within. Gray matter is primarily composed of neuron somas, the round central cell's body, and white matter is mostly made of axons, the long stems that connect neurons together, wrapped in myelin, a protective coating. The different composition of neuron parts is why the two appear as separate shades of certain scans. Neuron anatomy. Each region served a different role. Gray matter is primarily responsible for processing and interpreting information, while white matter transmits that information to other parts of the nervous system. So, how does the brain work? The brain sends and receives chemicals and electrical signals throughout the body. Different signals control different processes, and your brain interprets each. Some make you feel tired, for example, while others makes you feel pain. Some messages are kept within the brain, while others are relayed to the spine and across the body vast network of nerves to distant extremities. To do this, the central nervous system relies on billions of neurons, or in another word, it is called nerve cells. Main parts of the brain and their functions. At a high level, the brain can be divided into the cerebrum, brainstem, and cerebellum. Cerebrum. The cerebrum, front of brain, comprises gray matter, the cerebral cortex, and white matter at its center. The largest part of the brain, the cerebrum, initiates and coordinates movement and regulates temperatures. Other areas of the cerebrum enable speech, judgment, thinking and reasoning, problem solving, emotions, and learning. Other functions relate to vision, hearing, touch, and other senses. The cerebral cortex. Cortex is Latin for park that describes the outer gray matter covering of the cerebrum. The cortex has a large surface area due to its folds and comprises about half of the brain's weight. Brainstem. The brainstem, middle of brain, connects the cerebrum with the spinal cord. I wonder whether I look up. Maybe I will search for WAP because that's so confusing and sometimes I don't know how to call it. Cerebrum.
Cerebrum. Cerebrum.
Cerebrum. No wonder how it's so hard to pronounce. The brainstem, middle of brain, connects the cerebrum, right?
Cerebrum.
The brainstem, middle of brain, connects the cerebrum with the spinal cord. The brainstem includes the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. Midbrain. The midbrain on the mesencephalon is a very complex structure with a range of different neuron clusters, nuclei, and colliculi, neurons pathways, and other structures. These features facilitate various functions, from hearing and movement to calculating responses and environmental changes. The midbrain also contains the substantia nigra, an area affected by Parkinson's disease that is rich in dopamine neurons and part of the pulsar ganglia, which enables movement and coordination. The pons. The pons is the origin for four of the 12 cranial nerves, which enable a range of activities such as tear production, chewing, blinking, focusing vision, balance, hearing, and facial expression. Named for the Latin word for bridge, the pons is the connection between the midbrain and the medulla. And the last part of the brainstem is medulla. At the bottom of the brainstem, the medulla is where the brain meets the spinal cord. The medulla is essential to survival. Functions of the medulla regulate many bodily activities, including heart rhythm, breathing, blood flow, and oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. The medulla produces reflexive activity such as sneezing, vomiting, coughing, and swallowing. The spinal cord extends from the bottom of the medulla and through a large opening in the bottom of the skull. Supported by the vertebrae, the spinal cord carries messages to and from the brain and the rest of the body.